So you are watching the Hustle and Know Entrepreneurial Experience. We're an entrepreneurial book club moving into the podcast world. Last week, we read the book, The 4-Hour Workweek by Timothy Ferriss, and now we're here to discuss if we followed through with what we said we were going to do. So let's get started. So for those of you who haven't watched our session last week, the 4-Hour Workweek essentially is about making your time more efficient so that you have the ability to choose what you want to do with your day-to-day life. So it gives you power in your hands. So you can do that through working remotely, being able to travel around the world, doing auto assistance, things like that to make yourself more efficient. So let's find out if we followed through with what we said we're going to do. So who wants to go first?
I can go.
Joseph, awesome.
It's weird because I almost forgot that I said was going to do that, but I did do that. And I think you know, Julie, I used it to get a money mentor, someone who was very wealthy to mentor me.
Mm-hmm.
A lady named Helen that Shawn knows, who has a lot of like commercial buildings, shopping centers, things like that. And I asked her, called her on the phone. She's a very tough lady, so I wouldn't have been surprised if she's been like, no, that sounds like not a good use of time. And basically what I told her is, can you talk with me on the phone for 30 minutes per month? And let's just try it out. If you don't think it's valuable for you and it's not valuable for me or for me, then we can just stop doing the phone calls. And she said, that sounds like fun. And we ended up talking for more than 30 minutes, even though at that 30-minute mark, I was like, hey, we said 30 minutes. And so we ended up even talking for more than 30 minutes on our phone call because we're, really having a good conversation. So yeah, that's what I did. I actually did do it, but I forgot that I said I was going to do it.
Well, that's even more awesome. Boo, Shawn disagrees.
Why isn't that awesome?
But because you just half-assed it and you just, now I'm successful even though I don't even remember what I was supposed to be working on. That's horrible. That's almost worse than not reading the book like a couple of books ago.
It was like a subconscious level. On a subconscious level, this book changed me to the point where I was like, okay, I'm just going to do this automatically. I automated it exactly like the book says.
Joseph just wins by rolling out of bed every day. You know what I mean?
No, that's
cool.
Okay, Shawn, what about you?
Eliminate. And you know what? When you get as old as I do, and don't get old, you like a lot of crap and a lot of bad habits and a lot of, you just get into the ways and you sit there and we're creatures of habit. I mean, and we just keep doing the things that we normally do. My deal was to eliminate. Well, I've got a lot of stuff to eliminate, so I can eliminate just a little bit and be like Joseph over here and just say, hey, I'm a winner because I eliminated, one or two things, But I won't do that. No, I still have, this is a journey. This isn't something that's going to happen overnight. This is constantly looking at 20% of the things I'm doing that's bringing in 80% of the performance and all the value that's coming into my life. So I don't think this is something that we could do. I can't roll out of bed like Joseph and just be a winner. I think I'm going to have to keep working at this. For an example, I am going to go through each room in my house and get rid of crap, just eliminate. And then I'm going to use that physical kind of example to start mentally going through my closets and my rooms in my house in my head to figure out what I need to stop doing. So I don't know that I can check this box, but maybe we could even have a follow-up later on to see, because I think this is something that's very important, and it's going to be very important going forward for me to be successful, is to stop doing things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe we'll do like a follow-up confessional. Are we still doing the same stuff we said we're doing?
Confessionals. We'll the best of.
The best of confessionals. Yes. I mean, I'm with you there, Shawn. It is a process. Like, I've done a little better, like with the elimination part. Like, instead of checking emails like for an hour a day, I've narrowed it down to 30 minutes. So, baby steps. But I'm working on it. So that kind of ties into what I said I was going to do, which is Parkinson's law. So swell in perceived importance and complexity in relation to the time allotted for its completion. So meaning that if you give yourself a deadline for a task, you're gonna complete it because you know you have to, and you're gonna basically hyper focus in order to get it done. And the quality of the work oftentimes ends up being just as good as if you had given yourself a week to do it, because you're hyper focused, so your mind's in it. So I've been trying to do this because normally when I do my tasks, I'll like have something in the background, whether it's like music or TV or whatever. And so I really was like, no, Julie, I blocked out time. You're going to get this done. And I noticed, like for one of my tasks, normally takes me like a couple hours. I was able to knock it out in like an hour and a half, so same thing. I'm trying to be like, okay, like speed racer on it, but I'm having trouble, I guess, like doing it even more so. So I think it's going to be a process. Like as I'm doing it, I'll get better and better. But like for example, in the 4-hour work week, he goes on to say like, what if like you had a heart attack and you can only work like 2 hours a day, and then like for your health, so like you don't have a choice. like what would you do? Like you would have to find a way to only work those couple of hours a day, or you'll die. And then he even narrows it down to like, okay, what if you only had a couple hours a week, or what about a couple hours a month? Those are part of the exercises. So I think for me, I'm working towards getting that. It's just not as simple. I can't just do it one day and it like work, but I'm trying. So I'd say I've kind of completed that.
So you need to work on one task at a time. It sounds like you're trying to multitask, which we all know is the great lie, right? No, multitask doesn't exist.
Very true. I've used to multitask. Now I'm not trying to multitask anymore. Just one at a time.
But you have stuff going on in the background though, right?
No, not anymore. That's what I'm saying.
Sure.
If I had, it would have taken me like a couple hours, or I would be like checking messages in between while I'm doing the task.
Gotcha.
But now it's just like nothing. You just do it, and I saved 30 minutes. So better than nothing. I will get there.
Good.
So, well, that's awesome. We all learned a lot. I definitely recommend you check out the 4-hour work week. Great book. And it really just gives you perspective on what you want also out of life. So definitely check it out. And thank you so much for joining us. And we will see you next week. Don't forget, hustle beats talent when talent doesn't hustle. Bye. See you guys.